Before we begin, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. It costs free 99, it helps out the channel, and you'll have zero regrets doing it. So without further ado, on to our feature presentation. Welcome to JGTV, and today we're going to do a video that's often a high viewer in our 2026 Grammy Award predictions. And let me say this, I tend to be one of the more accurate predictors on this platform, but this year's categories have given me a run for my money. Also, this is the first Grammy prediction where I didn't watch anyone else's prediction videos on YouTube. I guess I just wanted to form my own opinion, and like I normally do, everyone like to put their predictions out when the nominees come out. Me, I like to sit, wait, let the nominees marinate. And I'm kind of glad I did because this year I was very underwhelmed with what's represented. Anyway, the Grammys are set to take place on the 1st of February on CBS, available on Paramount Plus the next day. And like last year's and pretty much all my Grammy videos, this is setting up to be a long one, so let's just go ahead and dive right in. And kicking things off, we have the pop categories. Alright, Best Pop Solo Performance. Nominees are Justin Bieber, Daisies, Sabrina Carpenter, Manchild, Lady Gaga, Disease, Chappell, Roan, The Subway, and Lola Young, Messy. And you see how underwhelming this category is? I mean, sure, The Subway to me is the best song on here. Manchild is the most mainstream song on here. Gotta have a Gaga song in here, and Bieber. And Lola Young's Messy is fine, but there was nothing that felt transcendent in this category in my eyes. But as for me, in terms of vote, if I had to choose, I'll let you choose either between Bieber for Daisies, as that is a good song, and Chaperone, The Subway, a song that I probably should have mentioned on my top 10 best list. And giving it some thought, I'm going to pick The Subway by Chaperone to win. Although, I'm probably not as confident with this selection as you may think. All I'm saying. Okay, Best Pop Duo Group Performance. Nominees are Cynthia Erivo featuring Ariana Grande for Defying Gravity, huntr, Golden, Katseye, Gabriella, Rose featuring Bruno Mars, Appa 2, and SZA featuring Kendrick Lamar for 30 for 30. In this category, okay, it was better than what I predicted in one of my videos I did earlier. And to me, I think it's going to come down to either Golden, Appa 2, and 30 for 30. I don't think Defying Gravity is going to win because it's basically a cover. And Cat's Eye being nominated is interesting. It's a choice. But I think there are long shots to win this category anyway. So, as for a winner, one thing I've noticed about the Grammys as I've been following them throughout the year, unlike everyone else, they have been super friendly to Appa 2 by Rose and Bruno Mars. I think this song is going to win. Bruno's going to go back to back in this category, and Rose will become the first K-pop artist to win a Grammy, unless huntr don't beat him in the pre-show. Best Dance Pop Recording. Even though this is not a pop category, I do want to talk about this one. Nominees are Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco, Blue is Flame, Lady Gaga, Abracadabra, Zara Larsson, Midnight Sun, Tate McRae, Just Keep Watching, and Pink Panthers, Illegal. And it's first time nominees for Tate McRae, Pink Panthers, and Zara Larsson. And too bad none of those three have a chance in hell in beating Lady Gaga Abracadabra. I think this is going to be an easy win for her. She got this one in the bag. And last but not least, for the pop, we have Best Pop Vocal Album. Nominees are Justin Bieber for Swag, Sabrina Carpenter, Man's Best Friend, Miley Cyrus, Something Beautiful, Lady Gaga, Mayhem, and Teddy Swims, I've Tried Everything But Therapy Part 2. And my reaction to this, I'm kind of surprised that Lady Gaga chose to submit for the pop categories. I thought this was going to go in the dance categories where obviously I won't be able to do a prediction for, but I thought she was going to submit for that, not the pop categories. And this kind of makes my prediction easier for me. Go, I don't think Man's Best Friend is Sabrina's strongest. In fact, I felt like that project was rushed to capitalize on her growing momentum. If I had to choose, it's between Lady Gaga and actually Gaga's the only choice here. I think Mayhem's going to take Best Pop Vocal Album, and like the Best Dance Pop Recording, it's not going to be close. Next up, we have the R&B categories, which is more of my cup of tea. Best R&B Performance. Nominees are Justin Bieber, Yukon, Chris Brown featuring Bryson Tiller, It Depends, Kalani, Folded, Leon Thomas, Mutt, live from NPR's Tiny Desk, and Summer Walker, Heart of a Woman. And let me ask y'all this question. Do y'all consider Justin Bieber's Yukon an R&B song? I mean, I don't. It's more of a pop song. But Bieber has done this before. He'll love to submit in the R&B categories, even if it's for one of his weaker songs. So Yukon definitely should not win. I also don't think Chris Brown, Bryson Tiller should win this either. It's gonna come down to the bottom three that y'all all see. And I think the Grammys are gonna pull the same stunt they pulled last year. And if you don't know, last year Money Long won Best R&B Performance for Made for Me. However, that song was technically not eligible for that period last year, so she decided to submit a BET performance, which was eligible. I think the same thing is going to happen. I'm going to roll with Mutt Tiny Desk Performance by Leon Thomas to win. I think Leon Thomas is going to have a pretty big night for the Grammys. Best Traditional R&B Performance. Nominees are Duran Bernard for Here We Are, Layla Hathaway, Uptown, Lettucey, Love You Too, SZA, Cry Baby, Leon Thomas, Vibes Don't Lie. And normally this is always for me a hard category to predict because of all the categories, this is the one I really had to listen to for the first time because some of these songs I've never heard of prior to, making these predictions. So, that in mind, the song that I liked the most, okay, I don't think Crybaby by SZA should win. It's one of her weaker songs on her deluxe project. I'm just gonna make an educated guess. Let us see. You win. Let's move on. Best R&B Song. Nominees are Folded by Darius Dixon, Andre Harris, Kalani Parrish, Donovan Knight, Don Mills, Chris Reddick Tynes, and DeWitt Kamal Wilson. Heart of a Woman by David Bishop and Summer Walker. It Depends by Nico Baran, Chris Brown, Ant Clemens, Ephraim Lopez Jr., Ryan Press, Bryson Tiller, Elliot Trent, and Dwayne Whitmore Jr. Durant Overqualified by James John Aberhart and Duran Bernard. And Yes It Is by Jarius Banks, Lazaro Andres Camejo, Mike Hector, Peter Lee Johnson, Rodney Jones Jr., Ali Prawl, and Leon Thomas. And yeah, that was a mouthful. And I actually think this is a pretty strong category, but come on with It Depends again. This song is not even that good. And we all know Leon Thomas could not submit for Mutt. I think if he submitted Mutt last year, as I said in the R&B performance, he submitted Mutt for the 2025 show, but it was ineligible. So he could not put the big song here. But as for a winner, I actually kind of think this is another easy prediction to make. I want to roll with Folded by Kalani. Here we go. Folded by Kalani. I think it's one of the best songs on here. And they will get a Grammy after getting snubbed last year. Okay, Best Progressive R&B Album. And I have zero time to explain the difference between progressive and regular R&B categories. Nominees are Duran Bernard, Bloom, Bilal for A Just Brightness, Destin Conrad for Love on Digital, Flo, Access All Areas, and Terrence Martin and Kenya Dixon for Come As You Are. And to be honest with you, the only project I've heard of was Flo, Access All Areas. And that album was decent. But I don't think it's going to win. But I will say, Flo, congratulations on being first time nominees. I think, based on Grammy history, I'm going to roll with Terrence Martin and Kenya Dixon for Come As You Are. Yes, I have not listened to this album, but given that they have been nominated in the R&B fields a lot in the past, I think they're a great chance. I think the chances of them winning is kind of high. And to round up the R&B categories, Best R&B Album nominees are Giveon for Beloved, Coco Jones, Why Not More, Lettucey, Crown, Tiana Taylor, Escape Room, and Leon Thomas, Mutt. And I think this category is cut and dry. Mutt by Leon Thomas is going to run away with this one. It's nominated for Album of the Year, spoiler, and is also done the best, I think, the best commercially out of all of these albums. And now we got the country categories. And I'm probably going to end up breezing through these as country was kind of iffy in 2025. Best Country Solo Performance. Nominees are Tyler Childers for Nose on the Grindstone, Shaboozey, Good News, Chris Stapleton, Bad as I Used to Be, Zach Top, I Never Lie, and Lainey Wilson, Somewhere Over Laredo. And let me say this. Chris Stapleton has won this category I think three out of the last 4 years. I know he's on a 2-year winning streak, and if he wins again for Bad as I Used to Be, I'll know something's up. And don't get me wrong, I actually like Chris Stapleton. I think he's one of the biggest faces of country music, but he's already won this category twice, back-to-back years. Do I think this one should go to someone else for once Grammys. And I think that someone else, I don't think, okay, as good as Shaboozey's Good News is, I don't think it's going to win. I think Lainey Wilson has a shot, but I'm going to go with I Never Lie by Zach Top. Because that song sounded good. It sounded like an old school country song. And yes, I don't have a nostalgia for country music, but it felt organic. Next up, we have Best Country Duo Group Performance. Nominees are Miranda Lambert and Chris Stapleton for A Song to Sing, Reba McEntire featuring Miranda Lambert and Lainey Wilson, Trailblazer, Margot Price and Tyler Childers for Love Me Like You Used to Do, Shaboozey featuring Jelly Roll, Amen, and George Strait and Chris Stapleton for Honky Tonk Hall of Fame. And honestly, the only song that I heard prior to listening to all of this is Amen by Shaboozey and Jelly Roll, a song that's pretty much overstaying its welcome on Billboard. It's currently on a Nashville run, and yes, it's a good song. I'll admit that. But I don't think it's going to win. If I had to choose, that this is where I think Chris Stapleton will make his play. I'm going to go with A Song to Sing with Miranda Lambert to win Best Country Duo Performance. I've had seen this song on the bubbling charts in the past. It never was able to break through, but those two sound very, very good together. So I'm going to give it to A Song to Sing by Miranda Lambert and Chris Stapleton. Best Country Song. Nominees are Bitin' List by Tyler Childers, Good News by Michael Ross Pollock, Sam Elliott Roman, and Jacob Torrey, I Never Lie by Carson Chamberlain, Tim Nichols, and Zach Top, Somewhere Over Laredo by Andy Albert, Trainee Anderson, Dallas Wilson, and Lainey Wilson, and A Song to Sing by Jenny Fleenor, Jesse Frazier, Miranda Lambert, and Chris Stapleton. So if Shaboozey was able to win this category, he will not walk out of there with the Grammy, as he didn't write Good News. And okay, another one where I don't have much to say for. So far early in these predictions, I don't have much to say about a lot of these. But choosing a winner, I think it's going to come down between I Never Lie, A Song to Sing, and maybe Somewhere Over Laredo as a dark horse. I'm going to once again go with Grammy history, and I'm going to go with A Song to Sing by Miranda Lambert and Chris Stapleton to also take Best Country Song. Best Traditional Country Album. Nominees are Charlie Crockett for $1 a Day, Lucas Nelson for American Romance, Willie Nelson, Oh What a Beautiful World, Margot Price, Hard-Headed Woman, Zach Top, Ain't In It for My Health. I'm going to keep this brief because I've never listened to any of these albums. I think it's going to be between Willie Nelson and Zach Top. And in terms of traditional, I'm gonna play it safe, and I'm gonna pick Willie Nelson. Oh, what a beautiful world. And oh yeah, for this category, before I move on to the next one, you could thank Beyonce for breaking up the country categories. And to round things up in country, we have Best Contemporary Country Album. Nominees are Kelsey Ballerini for Patterns, Tyler Childers' Snipe Huntr, Eric Church, Evangeline vs. the Machine, Jelly Roll, Beautifully Broken, and Miranda Lambert, Postcards from Texas. And again, I have not listened to any of these albums, but I think it's going to come down between Snipe Huntr and Eric Church. And after some thinking, I was originally going to go with Tyler Childers, but I'm flipping my pick to Eric Church, Evangeline, and the Machine. This is just an educated guess. And now we gotta get into the rap categories. Best Rap Performance nominees are Cardi B, Outside, Clipse and Kendrick Lamar for Chains and Whips, doechii, Anxiety, Kendrick Lamar featuring Lefty for TV Off, and Tyler the Creator featuring Tizo Touchdown, Darling I. Outside of Anxiety, I actually like this pick for Best Rap Performance. And I know history is going to lean towards one of the Kendrick songs. And I was going to pick TV Off, but once I saw Chains and Whips was nominated, I could not go against that. If you saw my best list of 2025, I said Chains and Whips was the best rap song to come out that year. It is just, it is excellent. And by the way, probably not the last time I'm mentioning this. Best melodic rap performance. Nominees are Friday featuring Meek Mill, Proud of Me, JID featuring Ty Dolla $ign, Wholeheartedly, Kendrick Lamar and SZA, Luther, Terrence Martin and King and Dixon featuring Rhapsody, We Maj, and Party Next Door and Drake for Somebody Loves Me. And I know what you're thinking. Why is Drake even nominated? Because Drake does not, if you don't know, Drake does not submit his works to the Grammys. But I think Party Next Door, he does. So that explains all that. But yeah, I think this one has no contest. Luther by Kendrick Lamar and SZA. I need you to bet if you're a betting person, bet every last one of your dollars on Luther winning Best Melodic Rap Performance. I don't think no one else stand close to that one. Best Rap Song nominees are Anxiety by Jayla Hickman, The Birds Don't Sing by Gene Elliott Thornton Jr., Terrence Thornton, and Pharrell Williams and Stevie Wonder, Sticky by Aaron Bolton, Dudley Alexander Duvernay, Gloria Hallelujah Woods, Dwayne Carter Jr., Janae Weary, Tyler Oknama, and Rex Zamore, TGIF by Lucas Algria, Dylan Brophy, Yaki Davis, Gloria Hallelujah Woods, Jess Jackson, Ronnie Jackson, Mario Mims, and Jorge M. Tavares, and TV Off by Jack Antonoff, Larry J., Kendrick Lamar, Dijon McFarlane, Sean Momberger, Mark Anthony Spears, and Kamashi Washington. Alright, another mouthful. But I have so many questions for this one. First of all, Grammys. You really gonna allow Sexy Red to be nominated for anything? Sure, she only has like 4 lines on the song Sticky, but come on. You do not need to make Sexy Red a Grammy nominated artist. And a second question I have to ask, why is TGIF nominated? Don't get me wrong, that is a fine enough song. But according to my records, this song came out well before the 2025, 2024, 2025 period. And that should have been eligible last year. Why is it nominated this year? I honestly don't have an explanation for this one. But as for a winner, I don't know. I'm stuck between, I think it's once again going to come down between Clipse and Kendrick Lamar. Y'all know this. And if I'm actually going, this might be the first hard decision I have to make with the Grammys. Because The Birds Don't Sing is very, very good. And TV Off is also very, very good. Even though that's not my favorite off the album. But I'm going to play it safe and pick The Birds Don't Sing by Clipse, John Legend, Voice of Fire, and Stevie Wonder. Because that one was another good song off their project. And I don't think Kendrick Lamar wouldn't mind losing to Clipse. And Best Rap Album nominees are Clipse, Let God Sort 'Em Out, Glorilla, Glorious, JID, God Does Like Ugly, Kendrick Lamar, GNX, and Tyler the Creator, Chromacopia. And let me say this. Throughout 2025, I told myself that this was a 2 album category between Kendrick and Tyler the Creator. 2 very highly acclaimed rap projects. But then Clipse had to make a comeback. And they decided to throw their album in the mix. And I'll say this. Let God Sort 'Em Out was the album Fantano was afraid to review at first. He eventually did review it and gave it a 10. And I just want to put that out there that Fantano was initially scared, but he was able to conquer that fear. And but do my little theory stand between GNX and Chromacopia, which we will be talking about those two albums later on in this video. Well, Clipse just jumped right in. I think Let God Sort 'Em Out is going to take the win, but I will not be surprised if GNX wins this one. It makes me kind of feel bad for Tyler the Creator. This might be a this might be an Adele and Beyonce situation that happened a decade ago, where those two were the two front runners, and then there was poor little Rihanna who stuck with Auntie. Tyler is just got outside looking in. Sorry. Now let's talk about some other categories that I kind of want to get into. Best African Performance. Nominees are Burna Boy for Love, Davido featuring On My Life with You, Eddie Kenzo and Marin Martin, Hope and Love, Ira Star featuring Wizkid, Gimme That, and Tyla, Push to Start. And let me mention Shake It to the Max, the original, got snubbed out of this category, and that was the biggest Afrobeat song of the year. But with that in mind, I I don't want to say this was cut and dry, but I think Tyla is the front runner to win this one. I did say Push to Start was one of the better songs that was not able to qualify for my best list. And our song is also the most notable of the bunch. But I will say Ira Star and Wizkid, they were close for changing my mind. Okay, best compilation soundtrack for visual media. Nominees are A Complete Unknown, F1, K-pop Demon Hunters, Sinners, and Wicked. Now, in terms of movie, I've only seen the bottom three. I've started F1, but I was never able to finish, and I have not seen A Complete Unknown. But I am fully aware of that movie. But we're not talking about the movie's quality. We're talking about how did the soundtrack go. And in my eyes, I think it's going to come down to the bottom three. Because K-pop Demon Hunters, that was the big story of 2025. It had the summer on lock. But at the same time, Wicked had like the December run. It was there for December and then all the way up to the early parts of 2025. People were obsessed with Wicked to an extent. I wasn't. I thought the movie was fine, but I mean, theater music is not my thing. So with that in mind, I'm in another pickle. I'm torn between K-pop Demon Hunters and Wicked for this one. And I'm just going to play it safe. I'm going to pick Wicked to win. But I think this one can go in any direction. Best song written for visual media. Nominees are As Alive as You Need to Be. Let me repeat that. As Alive as You Need Me to Be by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross. Golden by EJ and Mark Sonnenblick. I Lied to You by Ludwig Göransson and Raphael Sadiq. Never Too Late by Brandy Carlisle, Elton John, Bernie Taupin, and Andrew Watt. Pale Pale Moon by Ludwig Göransson and Brittany Howard. And Sinners by Leonard Denisco, Rodarius Green, Travis Harrington, Tarkin Kozoluku, Chris Mingo, and Darius Povolinas. Okay, that was another mouthful. And for me, even though Sinners is nominated for half of these, which honestly I'm pretty shocked, I think it's going to come down between Never Too Late and Golden. And I was going to lean towards the ever so safe pick of Never Too Late. But then I realized Golden is nominated for Song of the Year. Yes, it is nominated for Song of the Year. All the other songs aren't nominated for that category. I'm gonna roll with Golden to get a win here. But if Never Too Late wins, do not be surprised. Alright, Best Album Cover nominees are Tyler the Creator for Chromacopia, Dijo, The Cruise, Bad Bunny, Debí Tirar Más Fotos, Perfume Genius, Glory, and Wet Leg Moisturizer. Now, for those of you who don't know, this category was first awarded when the Grammys was getting started. They never really, I don't think they really brought it back until now. And yeah, I think all these are good covers. We're not now for this category. We're not judging the album on the inside. I'm judging it on the outside. So we have Tyler the Creator donning a mask. We have Dijo with the cruise. Look like Chicago because that's where he's from. We have Bad Bunny with DTMF with just two plastic chairs that we see at every cookout. Perfume Genius, man passed out in his room with a vehicle on the outside. And Wet Leg, one woman scratching her back, one woman crouching on the ground like she's gonna jump at me if I don't pick her to win this category. And I'm not picking that one to win. I'm gonna go with DTMF by Bad Bunny. It's just, sure, it's just two plastic chairs, but I think there's like a bigger backstory that I haven't looked into, or nor do I even know about behind those two chairs. And not to mention the bananas in the background, the tropical trees. I'll take it. I'll take that one to win. Best Music Video nominees are Sade for Young Lion, Sabrina Carpenter Manchild, Clipse So Be It, doechii Anxiety, and OK Go Love. And yeah, it's another one where I'm very, very underwhelmed with what we got. So I'm not picking the mainstream darlings of Manchild or Anxiety. I'm stuck between Sade's Young Lion and OK Go Love. And let me say this. I've actually sat down and watched OK Go Love about a few months ago when the nominees came out. And I was pretty impressed with the production done. So I'm gonna go with OK Go Love to win Best Music Video. Let me mention about last year. I did not see Not Like Us winning this category last year. I did not see that coming. And Best Music Film. Nominees are Devo, Ray, Live at the Royal Albert Hall, Diane Warren, Relentless, John Williams, Music by John Williams, and Pharrell Williams, Piece by Piece. But let me mention that Luther Vandross's Never Too Much documentary and Sly Live's documentary were snubs. Those two should have easily been nominated as there were excellent documentaries done. I guess they didn't want, spoiler for the latter, I guess they didn't want to give Questlove another Grammy for this category, given that he already won one all the way back in 2022 for Summer of Soul. Now, I think I have not seen any of these five, not even Pharrell's little piece. But I think it's gonna come down between Diane Warren and John Williams. And as much as I love Diane Warren, I love her songwriting. She's one of my favorite songwriters of all time. I think this might be another safe pick. I'm gonna roll with John Williams to win, and no one will probably even care if he wins. And now, last but not least, we're on to the big stuff, the general categories. Producer of the Year, non-classical. Nominees are Dan Auerbach, I probably said that wrong, Circuit, Dijon, Blake Mills, and Soundwave. All men. Now, before I make my predictions, let me go through a few of their notable works. For Dan, he worked with the Black Keys. Circuit, some of his credits included Lady Gaga and Oppa 2. Dijon, most of his credits involving Swag. Blake Mills, he did Perfume Genius. And Soundwave, his works included G and X. That'll give you a little bit of an idea on what you're working with. And because of what I have presented here, and even though Jack Antonoff got snubbed out of this category this time, I'm going to roll a Circuit to win. And yeah, let's keep it moving. Songwriter of the Year, non-classical nominees are Amy Allen, Edgar Barea, Jessie Joe Dillon, Tobias Jesu Jr., and Laura Veltz. And I feel like some of these nominees have been nominated for the last 2 or 3 years. Well, we do have a reigning champ here, but like last category, let me go through all of these to see what they worked behind. For Amy Allen, we all know she's affiliated with Sabrina Carpenter, but she also had writing credits on Oppa 2 and Just Keep Watching by Tate McRae. Edgar Barea, we all know he works with Karol G, but some of his credits also include Soltera by Shakira and Mignalo by Fudeza Regida and Grupo Frontera. For Jessie Joe Dillon, she worked on the song Am I Okay? She also works with Kelsey Ballerina, and she worked on that very odd Happened to Me song by Russell Dickerson. Tobias, he worked on Man I Need, Something Beautiful with Miley Cyrus, and is affiliated with Haim. And Laura Veltz, her affiliations mostly known for Jessie Murph. So yeah, I'm not voting for her. But okay, this one I'm torn, but it's probably gonna come down between Amy Allen and Tobias. But I'm gonna go with I think Amy Allen's gonna repeat this one, just because Man's Best Friend and Oppa 2 are well represented in the general fields. Best New Artist nominees are Olivia Dean, Katseye, The Marias, Addison Rae, Somber, Leon Thomas, Alex Warren, and Lola Young. And yeah, I think this category is pretty stacked. Another year, back-to-back years, the Best New Artist category is stacked. And there's a lot of gutsy decisions that were made by the artists in their submissions. Like for Olivia Dean, this is the only time I'm mentioning her name in this video, as she did not submit Man I Need for, as she only submitted for Best New Artist. I think Somber and Alex Warren, and Addison Rae, those are their only nominees. And Cat's Eye, yes, they're present for Best Pop Duo Group Performance. And I know people are shocked that they're here, but I'm kind of not, because they have been performing at a lot of Grammy events throughout the year, throughout 2025, so that makes sense. And the same could go for Addison Rae. As for who I think got snubbed, the only name I had on my list of snubs are the country artists, and that is Megan Maroney and Zach Top. I thought they could have had a place for those two, but I guess not. As for winners, I am torn between two artists, and that is Olivia Dean and Leon Thomas. But I gotta factor in Olivia Dean from her period of 2024-2025. Yeah, she had, thinking about it, Man I Need came out like in this summer. Nice to Meet You came out in May. People don't know that. But it took to after the period ended for people to discover her. If you don't know, her album Art of Loving, while being an excellent piece of art, was not eligible for this year's Grammys, but it will be next year, and I think it's going to be well represented in the 2027 Grammys. And for Leon Thomas, he's the most nominated Best New Artist here. He has 6 nominations. And I was actually going to pick Leon Thomas, but here's what you don't know. He already has a Grammy. for his works on Snooze by SZA. So with that in mind, it's make it 9 in a row for the ladies. I'm gonna roll with Miss Olivia Dean to win. But if there was a year where this streak of women could come to an end, it's probably this one. And another thing, I will not be surprised if Alex Warren wins, because he has a. I know his song Ordinary is the most overplayed and boring song of 2025, but he has a stronger case than you may think. Just keep that in mind. Song of the Year. Alright, let me get myself adjusted. And here we go. Abracadabra by Lady Gaga, Henry Walter, Andrew Watt. Anxiety by Jayla Hickman. Appa 2 by Amy Allen, Christopher Brody Brown, Roger Shamlahade, Omir Fedi, Philip Lawrence, Bruno Mars, Shay Young Park, Taron Thomas, and Henry Walter. DTMF Marco by Marco Daniel Burrell, Scott Ditterich, Benjamin Philippe, Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, Hugo Rene Sinicion Sanabria, Tyler Thomas Spree, and Roberto Jose Rosado Torres. I sincerely apologize if I butchered those names, as I did with all the other names. Golden by EJ and Mark Sonnenblick. Luther by Jack Antonoff, Rosha Rashwida, Larisha Bacha, Matthew Bernard, Scott Bridgeway, Sam Dew, Inc., Kendrick Lamar Duckworth, Selena Rowe, Mark Anthony Spears, and Kamashi Washington. Manchild by Amy Allen, Jack Antonoff, Sabrina Carpenter, and Wildflower by Billie Eilish O'Connell and Phineas O'Connell. Alright, that's a mouthful. And like I said in the beginning, I'm not too impressed with what we have represented. And once again, for those of you who don't know, Song of the Year, we're looking at the songwriting, the lyrics. And to me, this is a tough one, because I'm not thrilled. Part of me don't want to pick Luther by Kendrick Lamar, because if he wins in the general fields again, that might be oversaturating. But to me, he does have the best quote unquote song here. In terms of, well, how it's written. Okay, let me do this. I'm ruling out doechii Anxiety. I'm ruling her out because she used a sample. I'm ruling out Manchild because that song is really not that good. I'm ruling out both K-pop songs. I don't think they're going to get any general field love. And I'm going to rule out Lady Gaga, as she tends to struggle in the general fields. So that only leaves me with DTMF, Luther, and Wildflower. And given that Wildflower is a song that came out in 2024, in the middle of 2024, Kendrick Lamar is the only one I could logistically pick to win. I mean, I'll be happy for SZA winning in the general fields, but I'm not that. I mean, and it's a good. Luther is a great song, but yeah, I'm just kind of underwhelmed this year. Record of the Year, we're looking at overall performance. And the nominees are Bad Bunny, DTMF, Sabrina Carpenter, Manchild, doechii, Anxiety, Billie Eilish, Wildflower, Lady Gaga, Abracadabra, Kendrick Lamar and SZA, Luther, Chappell Roan, The Subway, and Rose and Bruno Mars, Appa 2. And outside of Chappell Roan, oh my goodness, Record of the Year nominees are the exact same as Song of the Year. Usually I'll see about one or two, three nominees difference. This year we only see one. And again, are you really impressed with what you have? Now, in terms of Record of the Year, things are a little. I think I have more to work with this time than I did with Song of the Year. And I'm down between, again, Luther and surprisingly, Appa 2. Given that Gaga tends to struggle in the general fields, Doechii Anxiety, no. Manchild, no. Billie Eilish, last year's song. DTMF might be a dark horse. And Chappell Roan, yes, The Subway is a good song, but record of the year worthy? Was it a song where I could say, I could go back in 2025 and say, yep, that was the big record of the year? That's why I take record of the year so seriously. Because I want to see if I could go back to a certain year, like let's say 2023, when About Damn Time by Lizzo. Do you consider that a record of the year for 2022? Yes. Do I consider Not Like Us a record of the year for 2020 at the 2025 or 2024? Yes. So, yeah, as you can tell, I'm a little bit frustrated with what we have. But for winners, I think Kendrick's going to sweep this one. I think just like last year, he's going to sweep for Luther. But I'm not as confident this year as I was last year. And finally, last but not least, the big category of the night, Album of the Year. Nominees are Bad Bunny, Debí Tirar Más Fotos, Justin Bieber, Swag, Sabrina Carpenter, Man's Best Friend, Clipse, Let God Sort 'Em Out, Lady Gaga, Mayhem, Kendrick Lamar, GNX, Leon Thomas, Mutt, and Tyler the Creator, Chromacopia. And let me shout out all the black men nominated, as they took up half the spots here. So shout out to the black men represented. And yeah, I'm kinda underwhelmed on what we have here too. And part of me could say, now, in terms of album, I'm only ruling out two picks. I don't think Justin Bieber's Swag is going to win, and I definitely don't think Sabrina Carpenter's Man's Best Friend's going to win, as that was the last album to be released within the Grammy window. Let me also sadly rule out Mutt by Leon Thomas. Even though his R&B album was pretty good, I don't think he stand a chance. And normally I say Lady Gaga struggles in the general fields. I do think she has a shot this time to get her first general win in a general field category. And for me, yeah, I'm torn between GNX, Mayhem, Let God Sort 'Em Out as a dark horse, and DTMF. And if this was a year, this would probably been a year. Okay, this would probably been a year. I wouldn't mind an obscure winner taking this one. I wouldn't mind an obscurity winner for album of the year. But I don't think any of these albums too obscure enough for me to say that. But okay, winner. Let me pick a winner. Right now, the favorites, from what I've been reading, it's between Mayhem and GNX and DTMF. I'm gonna go, but I'm still not. But here's the thing: I did not pick GNX to win Best Rap Album. I picked Clipse for Let God Sort 'Em Out. How would I feel if I give him the win here when he didn't take Best Rap Album? Then it hit me. This could be something similar happened to 2021 when Dua Lipa won Best Pop Vocal Album, but Taylor Swift won Album of the Year. Both albums were nominated for Best Pop Vocal Albums during those times. So you know what? I may not I might not like myself in the morning for this. I'm gonna go with GNX to win Album of the Year. All because a lot of people are picking this one to win, and I am too. And this could be historically significant, as this will be the first rap album. This could be the first rap album to win Album of the Year since 2004, and that was when Outkast took it for Speaker Box and The Love Below. So this could be huge for hip hop if Kendrick Lamar or Tyler or Clipse take it. But he's gonna be my main pick. I think it's gonna be between so GNX is gonna be my main pick. DTMF, Mayhem are gonna be like my two dark horses to possibly upset them. And yeah, this wraps up the Grammy 2026 Grammy nominees predictions. So tell me what you think in the comments below. I know this has been a long one, and no, I'm not trying to find ways to. And then, trust me, I am not trying to stress just. And trust me, I am not trying to stretch this out to 50 minutes. That was not my goal heading into this. But anyway, tell me what you think in the comments below. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. The following was a JGTV production. Thanks for watching.